Hey, welcome back to the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge, and today we have Aladdin, The Return of Jafar. This is the 1994 sequel. This is the first sequel to the original 1992 film. It is an hour and 11 minutes long, so it's not very long, but it's also not very good. Yeah, sorry. Sorry. That's right, it's a little Canadian coming through there. But yeah, sorry. This is a sequel that the animation, it's direct to video, so yeah, it's a cash in. It's because Aladdin was the biggest animated movie of its time, and it's whew, how can you not want to make more money off of it? Make another movie. But they went cheap on the animation. I mean, even the people who make it have to understand that even though they put hard work into it, that it's not to the level of the motion picture release. It's Saturday morning cartoon level. There's a lot of corners cut in quality wise. I mean, the characters are fine. The actors are back providing their voices, except for notably Robin Williams. You might hear a hint of what you think is Robin Williams. Maybe it is Robin Williams in the opening music. Uh, it maybe it was him. I didn't check, but it sounds very much like him. But instead, when we eventually get to Genie doesn't show up for like the good first part of the film. But when he does eventually show up from his whirlwind tour of the world after being cooped up in a lamp all for eternity, he, well, is voiced by Homer Simpson. Well, Dan Castellaneta, the guy who does the voice for Homer Simpson and so many other Simpsons characters. I love Dan. Don't get me wrong, I'm a huge Simpsons fan. Uh, but he's forced to do his best Robin Williams impression, which probably isn't the first time he's done that. He may have done something like that on The Simpsons, if I remember correctly. But yeah, no, yeah, it's not easy to animate for Robin Williams. Now imagine you don't have that Robin Williams energy, and you got to have somebody try to do the Robin Williams thing, and and then still animate it, or vice versa, fit the voice within the animation. Because again, Robin Williams is a force of nature. I don't know how they animated it. I just don't understand how they animate the stuff he does, because a lot of his stuff feels like it's completely off the cuff, unhinged, just ricocheting everywhere. And yeah, it's hard to. I imagine it's hard to edit him, like to say, okay, and here's him being Genie for 40 minutes straight, just going just spinning off of his lines, and then going, okay, we're gonna have to edit that as carefully as we can to make it sound like something coherent that we can put together and keep the movie within 2 hours. It's just yeah, it's Robin Williams. Anyway, this doesn't have Robin Williams, and we have everybody else back. Linda Larkin. I didn't bring up everybody's names, um, but the cast is back for the most part. I think the Sultan's voice is different, and technically, Jafar has two different voices when he is a genie and when he's human form. I think Maurice LaMarche provides his voice for one of those. So yeah, the concept is that this actually focuses an awful lot on Iago. This is a Gilbert Gottfried sort of headlines an Aladdin movie, which is a really strange thing. Um, and he gets at least two songs that he sings. And if you ever really wanted to hear Gilbert Gottfried sing, well, guess what? Here's your chance. All zero of you. So, yeah, okay, he's not a Gilbert Gottfried in this. He's very much a reined in Disneyfied Gilbert Gottfried. So he's not screeching at the top of his lungs. He is Iago, and Iago just does scream a lot like Gilbert, but at Disney levels. So, um, yeah, if Gilbert Gottfried normally is an 11 just on the pain scale, Iago's like a 7. So it's not so bad. But he's kind of the moral um, fulcrum in this thing, because he's escaped Jafar's clutches. after the end of the last film. This basically takes place not too long after the first film, and he decides he's gonna go out on his own until he realizes, you know what, I'm probably be better if I just went just back to the palace, find a way back to the palace, and I'll trick Aladdin into helping me get back there. And Aladdin doesn't like him. Nobody likes him. Nobody wants him around. But it works out that Aladdin covers for him. Aladdin helps him out. And it causes all sorts of trouble. Of course, Jafar eventually does return. And Iago is pulled between these two sides. Should he help the people who've been good to him, or should he help Jafar, who basically threatens his life at every given chance he gets, and could possibly give him a better life as a result of for betraying everybody? And we have the little tension between Aladdin and Jasmine a little bit, because you lied to me, like, you know, kind of when he starts covering for Iago. Yeah, it's there's a little bit of tension there story wise. I think there's a lot of potential in this story, because obviously you're just bringing back all the characters to redo the thing all over again. But at this time, Jafar is actually all powerful, except he can't kill anybody, and his lamp has been found by a thief that Aladdin runs across early in the film, voiced by Jason Alexander from Seinfeld, George from Seinfeld. So, yeah. By the way, at the very beginning, it tells us that these depictions are pretty racist, and they're not good, and they weren't good now, and they're not good back then. So, we're sorry. Yeah, because they do not make Arab people or Middle Eastern people look good in any way whatsoever. Jasmine, perfection. Aladdin, perfection. Everybody else is just, if they're evil, they're all just hunched over and big noses and weird faces, and they're just monstrous. And yeah, come on, it's just the way things were. So they put rather than taking it away, they just put a little warning in front of it. So just to get you an idea, they're conscious of it. So so yeah, it's like I said, it has potential to be a good story. I think the idea of Jafar having so much sway, and we get to see the potential of what Genie could be if he was evil. Genie is by nature very good natured and very exuberant and kind, and but he is all powerful, and had that been as dark as possible, if he had been dark, and honestly, the history of the Djinn, which is where we get the word genie and everything else, they are not good creatures. They are demons. The idea of Genie being anything like Robin Williams' Genie is unheard of, as far as I know. I mean, maybe tricksters at best, but yeah, it's nothing ever really comes out of it. It's usually a kind of a life lesson kind of thing. Be careful what you wish for in any story involving a genie, because it's going to backfire on you. You may ask for riches, but you'll drown in them, you know, whatever, and it'll destroy you. So in this, we get to see big evil genie, a big Jafar genie, and he's manipulating people left and right to get what he wants. He wants revenge, and he's actually, you're thinking, okay, this is really good, that it's gonna be genie to genie battle. He pretty much wipes the floor with Blue Genie real quick in a song. So basically bragging about how much better he is, and Genie is almost wordlessly taken down. I think he loses all confidence, and when faced with something as evil as Jafar. So yeah, but Jafar goes so far as to shackle Abu, Genie, the carpet, the Sultan, Jasmine, of course Aladdin, and then, you know, they all have to. Who's gonna survive? Who's gonna live? Who's gonna die? And well, you know, our good guys are gonna win in the end. But how does it happen? Well, I'm not gonna tell you. No, I'm not gonna tell you. I feel like I've seen this before, but I can't for sure know that I have seen all of it. I do remember something about Dan Castellaneta being the voice of Genie, and me going, he's talented, he's super talented, but Genie is Robin Williams, and until Will Smith came along, but I haven't even seen that one yet, so it hasn't been picked. I mean, we've had two Aladdin movies in the last 2 weeks, so maybe we'll have that one next. We haven't seen the original one. I have seen that, but it hasn't been picked yet for this. So we may get more Aladdin stuff down the road. I have no idea. Well, of course we'll get some eventually, but soon, I don't know. But yeah, this is, if you're a big Aladdin fan and you're not too critical, yeah, you can watch it and you can say I watched it. I've seen them all. I don't think it's as good as the one we saw 2 weeks ago, the King of Thieves. That one I think was much better, and it also had Robin Williams in it. It's great that Dan stepped up and took that role when Robin didn't, but it's not the same. I think that's the big detriment. Even so, they're not going to spend the Robin Williams money, probably. Although I think when Robin has done other roles with Genie, he's like not even gotten paid. He gave his money to other stuff. There's some sort of thing I read about. I don't know. You'll have to look it up. Robin Williams, Genie, getting paid or not. But I made a mistake yesterday, so we can't pick tomorrow's. I already know the number. I accidentally pressed the number twice, and that number is 279. Okay? If you watch the end of yesterday's episode, you'll see, oh crap, he pressed the button twice. Well, 279 takes us to this. Kingdom of the Mummies. Certainly not picking this on purpose, but Kingdom of the Mummies, it's a docuseries from National Geographic, and obviously it has to do with mummies. It has to do with Egypt and archaeology and things like that. So I'm going to watch one episode, and I'm going to come back here, and we're going to talk about it tomorrow on the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. I'll see you back here.